Hi, my name is Nick. Yeah, where to begin? Maybe first I can introduce myself. Yeah, so I'm honestly really nervous. It's not easy to share to share ourselves, to share myself. There's a lot of backgrounds of I'm afraid. I think it mostly comes from this feeling of really sharing myself truly, like no mask, because I can put on a mask and be like, hi, I'm Nicole and I'm confident in everything that I do. That's not true. This is something that now is next on my path, and I feel it intuitively to start sharing myself like this. And what I know and what I can help others find within themselves. And so this is new for me too, and that's also I think why I also need to do this. Yeah, so going back, I was born in Canada, downtown Toronto, until I was 13. I spent every summer coming to Croatia of my life, so raised also by the sea and the open vastness of the ocean, and a whole island as a playground. So nature has been a very important part of my life, and I feel very connected to nature, and that's actually what started my journey of self-exploration, I can say, and just of exploring this whole creation. Yeah, I remember when I was 18, I was smoking weed with my friends. I would start questioning what we're doing here, and what this all is, and this universe above us and these stars, and how are we even functioning, what's up with our bodies. All these questions, like what the fuck is going on, was the main thing that I was really curious about understanding. It came from also a lot of anger and just feeling like things aren't right. So I would say that it has a lot to do with my connection to nature, opened up a lot. It made me see more clearly that that everything is alive. And the way that we've been taught to see it is humans are number one and we're ruling the world. And I always question that. Well, how about everything else? How do the plants communicate? You know, what is hidden in this deep ocean? How do the cells in our body know how to move and communicate with each other? And who is responsible for all of this? What is responsible for all of this? Questioning. And I think it's something that, well, I can definitely say it enriched my life. I've been now, it's going to be 10 years. It already is 10 years of full time exploring in the curiosity of life. And every day deepening more and more my understanding and openness, in putting it all together. My mind kind of maps out experiences and certain information and knowledge that resonates with my own exploration. So it's like kind of putting together a web of understanding how a human being functions and what our place is on this earth. Yeah. And I feel like I have a lot to share about this. And I definitely am not coming from a place where I think I have it all figured out, because I don't. I'm just curious explorer, and also I'm deeply connected to, well, to the creation that lives within us, what we call God, the universe, the spirit, whatever, source. Yeah, I think it also started. It started even before, like when I was really young, when I was going through hard times. I looked for something light to come around, because something that I think shaped a lot of like why I went on this path of this like understanding and exploration of what is going on, and like what's our purpose here, came from me seeing spirits and beings that are not like human like, but seeing them within humans, in like this is other dimensional beings, beings from other realms. And they were mostly scary looking, So I grew up pretty afraid of, like, not understanding, This is not something that we're taught at all, to understand the complexity of the universe and the dimensions that we all live in. And yeah, this made me like really like dive into the darkness, and I was also afraid of it for a long time, until I had like beautiful experiences that probably, well, if I would talk about them, they would be fucking scary, but they taught me the most. They taught me about love, about the power of love, and how it can really transform anything scary, and how everything is in search of the same, to be acknowledged, to be loved, to be accepted, to be seen. It's even proven that our cells in our body change when they are acknowledged. So when they are like, when we give gratitude to them, when we give focus to them, when we say thank you to our bodies, the cells in our body react to that. So it's the same with us, It's the same with everything. It's proven that when we speak to a plant with love, we speak to the water, when we speak to the fire, everything responds to this, It'll respond to the opposite too. If we speak with hatred, with anger, with like ridiculing something, it'll also respond with a different frequency. It will respond with fear or with anger back, or other things. But this shaped a lot about my path, because it took me to understand how powerful the heart is. And I'm a person that deeply cares about this planet and where we are going, and the evolution of consciousness that we are actually. And these are all topics that I really would love to get into, and I intend to in the channel. This care is kind of like, it drives me. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just part of how I'm designed. So, yeah, this makes me always wonder, like, what is it that we need to evolve in consciousness? And let's say what I need now on my path is to open and to let go of my fears of being judged and rejected and made fun of, and to break this, break this hurt ego. That's like, because I've been feeling that for a while. It happens sometimes to me where I just feel like something's choking me to like not express my truth, and these are these like fears, and now this is breaking through the veil and evolving in consciousness, and also working for the collective consciousness, because each of us impact the whole. I know that this may all sound complex that I'm talking about, and if it does, let me know, because then I would love to like know that you're interested in hearing more, and then I can just break it down. We can go step by step. I also would love to share more like from experience as well, and from like what experience has taught me, to like continue on my path and to gain more wisdom. So yeah, I think that that's a good place to go from, because it's also more relatable when we go from experience. And what I've learned the most through my journey so far, we can all dig a lot. We can dig in ourselves, and sometimes get carried away. By like thinking we're not good enough, there's something wrong with us, there's something wrong with others, judging, thinking that we know, that we've got it all figured out. And yeah, that can really make things confusing and take us off track. And again, where we're focused so much on like our own story, that we lose sense of what we're really capable of and like the potential that we carry. And something that I'm personally also going through still, and still will be for sure, is something that we all are in a way, everyone, is that we've kind of been like raised in a system, in a system, in a society that makes us forget about our inner knowing, our inner power, our inner like ability to make decisions based on what we truly feel. And instead it's very like intellectually driven and egoistically driven, which is like from the mind, and that's okay that our intellect is expanding. That's why we're like creating now new innovations of technology, which is much more the mind. But to actually bring harmony within ourselves and within the world, it's important that we acknowledge also our feelings, the other duality, and yeah, and this is something that that we can really change when we put the focus there, and when we open to question things, like when we open to get to know ourselves, like what do I really want, like, because in society no one's going to ask you that. You're just like thinking that to survive I need to be something that is already accepted. Times are changing. We are not in 1957. We're in a new age, and even though it's been a lot of years of repression and of people thinking that they don't have the power to decide the course of their life, it's not like that anymore. But there's so many years and generations of our DNA thinking this, you know, and it lives inside each of us. So that's why this, like, breaking the ice is now like where we're all headed. And maybe not everyone is going to decide to break the ice within them, you know, find the fire again, and know that you are powerful, and to know that we are powerful. And by powerful, I mean that, like, we can do so much that we've never been taught to even think about from society. So our imagination still carries a lot that's been hidden from us in this age and in the last hundreds of years, even thousands. It's an exciting time, and it's something that we're in together. You know, it's not like someone's got to figure it out, the others don't. Like, we're all together opening back up. But anyways, the heart teaches me, you know, to remember to really also have fun on the whole way, and that seriousness is a disease, literally. Like, we take life sometimes way too serious, and that's just also insecurities and not knowing. It's the unconscious, that the whole world does not revolve around us and our problems and what our mind is telling us. But when we start to question things outside of ourselves or even inside of ourselves, how is this all functioning? You know, what do I really want to do throughout my life before I die? You know, what brings me joy? What, you know, what really makes me happy inside, that I can feel like, oh, amazing. These are all things that that we can feel inside of us. We all have the ability to feel. Yeah, so things that I noticed are really important are, like, how coherent am I? And what that means is, like, is it really aligned what I'm thinking with what I'm feeling and what I'm doing? Or am I doing things that I don't really actually want to do to please others, to be loved? Like, all of this comes from survival. And that's what the whole system is based on. That's why we're working, doing things. That's why we're, like, kind of basing our whole everyday life and focus on our own story. This, and, like, outside, everything outside is something that we need to put awareness on because we need to survive. But when we just start to question, well, the whole point of us living on this earth is certainly not just to survive. And we're going to get to this also through the channel. We'll talk about, like, how incredible actually survival instincts are, and what they have done for the evolution of not just humanity but everything from the first amoebas, you know. And that's how we got here, thanks to survival. So that's how we became who we are, like these physical, incredible bodies that can, you know, think, have logic, rational minds, common sense, that are able to perceive things, smell things, hear things, you know, like animals. And like how animals got to where they are, where have we begun, and where are we headed? You know, we are not the main characters of the story on Earth. That's something really important to acknowledge. And when our focus is taken outside of our story, when we're looking at it from a wider perspective, when we are observing, the flow of water, the flames of a fire, the wind, the sounds of it, and when we're observing how mechanical things work, how we've gotten to where we've gotten, when we observe where our feelings come from, why we feel certain ways, why do other people feel certain ways and we don't, and why do I have these thoughts? Why are these negative thoughts coming to me every morning when I wake up and when I go to bed? Like, when we start questioning this, we can receive answers, right? So many people are afraid to question and afraid of the answer. And I understand. So am I in many things still. But that's just all a part of the journey. And the more I go along the journey, the more exciting it is and like incredibly interesting. This creation is fucking wow. What a like imaginative mind this all is. And this really questioning all of this and wondering about it and being curious and exploring, it gives purpose to everything. Like, it takes us outside of this survival mode. We've come to a time when we don't have to worry about like existential things. Like, we don't have to go like, dig in the garden and all day long you're just living in your bubble so that you can survive and feed the family. But now we're like consuming so much, and there's so much material stuff, that it also gives us the opportunity to go within, because we don't have to worry about the survival as much anymore, right? And we're going to get to a lot of interesting topics. So if you are interested in working with me one-on-one to get to know yourself more, to get to know about this whole story more, about life, about getting outside of the mundane and becoming more coherent, more open, more joyous. If you want to bring back the curiosity and excitement into your life and into your everyday life and perception of it, then I invite you to check out my next video, and then we'll talk. Thank you.